Hey everyone, it's Ben from Cinema Gulp. I saw 3 horror movies in the past couple weeks, and instead of putting out one video per each film, I said, what's wrong with the old-fashioned triple threat of horror? When it comes to the Cage-o-sance of the last 2 years, it seems to me that he's happier spending the time in meta self-parody land, which I don't object to at all, by the way. With last year's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which has Cage playing Cage, and now Renfield with him playing, well, Dracula, it appears that he's perfectly happy chewing the shit out of the scenery and just having some fun while earning back some of that lost cheddar spent on alien artifacts and repaying a decade's worth of taxes. So what can I say about Renfield? Director Chris McKay, who edited the fantastic 2014 Lego movie and directed the 2017 Lego Batman movie, made his feature film debut with the mediocre Tomorrow World. Renfield, however, is a pretty fun script with some wacky in-your-face performances, and that all helps disguise sort of a confused and all-over-the-place plot that sometimes works pretty good, but sometimes falls under its own ambition. I enjoyed this film quite a bit while watching it in the theater. However, upon a day or so of processing, I see the holes and issues that some people talk about. None of them very big, but they're still there. Cage is great, fully committing to Dracula, and looking very much like Bela Lugosi. Nicholas Hoult is so good. He's really one of those young actors that I'm not sure why isn't a bigger star yet. And this film is completely his, as the name would suggest. He owns it, he's pretty much in every frame of it as Renfield. Awkwafina is not annoying here, which is a bonus. The plot kind of starts off as one thing that's very promising, but quickly goes into a different direction. I think the balancing act is done pretty good here, at least enough to give this movie a positive outcome, but it's walking a really thin line that almost snaps. It's fun and gory and delivers on exactly what the marketing shows you, go figure. So basically, you get what you expect. Don't expect greatness, but expect arms and heads constantly being ripped off. More Cage is always a good thing, but so is more Nicholas Hoult. Some things that start out great sometimes end up not so great. This is one of those films. A promising, mysterious, small-scale horror with eerie atmosphere and some subtle performances that eventually devolves into an overblown, schlocky CGI mess. Having said that, the good outdoes weigh the bad a little bit. There are moments in this film that are truly terrifying. Director Julius Avery also directed 2018's Overlord, and you can really see the carryover, especially in some of the set design. But the big strong point of this movie is the sound mix that really amps up some of the more tense scenes. The young boy who's possessed is also outstanding. A real ballsy and haunting facial performance from this kid, in a role that I don't think he should even watch for a few years, when he might be able to comprehend exactly what's happening in these scenes. Russell Crowe is really strong here, so is his sidekick, played wonderfully by Daniel Zavato, who I remember first seeing in 2015's masterpiece of horror, It Follows. The two work really well off one another in sometimes wonderfully written conversations about their past, their fears, and their secrets. I actually do think Russell Crowe is really good in this movie, mostly because he's not playing a stoic Russell Crowe. He's playing a pope who, is borderline a drunk and sort of really funny. I also think the Spanish setting and the castle they were able to film in really makes the situation feel higher stakes with more creepy imagery. The problem is that the last 20 minutes, the decision to turn this eerie small possession flick into a CGI blockbuster action scene at the end just falls fucking flat and actually started to make me laugh. I think other people in the theater were laughing as well, and trust me, it was not intentional. When we get to the end, it's so comically goofy, almost reminding me of Van Helsing from 2004 with Hugh Jackman. Are we going to get a team up? Are we gonna see more adventures? Uh-oh! It's a shame because much of this film works, so that's a soft recommendation. Evil Dead Rise. Lee Cronin, the director of directs this movie. Did it work as a horror movie? Hell yeah, it did. It's fucking bloody, disturbing, isn't afraid to off kids in gnarly ways. The possession of people is horrifying based on facial expressions and great body movements. The acting from the undead is way better than the acting from the still breathing. So does it work as an Evil Dead movie? It wants you to think it does. And it sort of does. Again, the undead, pretty terrifying. But it doesn't strike the same harsh, terrifying chords that the 2014 Fede Alvarez film did. That movie went fucking all in on the serious side. Rise wants to be both that and Army of Darkness, while not successfully being either. The makeup design of the Deadites still looks consistent with the rest of the series, and it's awesome. But the Book of the Dead and just the overall tone of the film feel a little out of continuity. I don't know, maybe it's the fake LA setting. Apparently this movie takes place in LA. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. If this movie was shot in LA, then I'm Alfred fucking Einstein.
And who are you, Alfred Einstein?
The CGI blood does wear on you after a while, but some of the gore in this movie is next level. And this isn't a spoiler to say that I really wish Ash showed up in this movie.
Groovy.
If nothing more, just to let us know that this movie's supposed to be in the same universe as all the others. I'd say the first 5 minutes of this film are my favorite and feel most like an Evil Dead movie. The movie isn't bad at all. It's a hell of a lot of fun in the theater. It's just a franchise that I think so highly of. A franchise to me that taught many young filmmakers how to make a low-budget horror movie that would go on to become one of the biggest horror franchises in the world with nothing more than passion, old abandoned cabin, and a few of your friends with a 16mm camera and gallons of syrupy fake blood. Thank you everyone for watching our horror triple threat of Renfield, The Pope's Exorcist, and Evil Dead Rise. Please leave some comments in the comments section below, and we drink your cinema.
I drink it up!
Ow, man.